Good morning. Tomorrow night begins Yom HaShoah, Holocaust Remembrance Day. I'm going to read 3 eyewitness accounts of different events from the Shoah, from the Holocaust, because while I do not believe in the phrase never again, because it has happened over and over in human history, I do believe in the phrase never forget. This happened at the end of the summer of 1943. A transport of Jews arrived from Tarnow. They wanted to know where they were being taken. They were told to die. They were already undressed. They looked grave and silent. Then they began to recite a vidui, a confession of sin. Then a young Jew stood on a bench and asked everybody's attention. "We are not going to die," he said. And they believed him. And they died. November 1944. Jewish children were brought to Auschwitz. A truck stopped in front of the political section. A little boy jumped off. He held an apple in his hand. 2 of the SS men were standing in the doorway. Suddenly, one of them went over to the boy, grabbed his legs, and smashed his head against the wall. Then he calmly picked up the apple. The other told me to wipe that off the wall. About an hour later, I was called by the first to interpret an interrogation, and I saw him eating the child's apple. The last eyewitness account for today. Majdanek, Black Wednesday, November 3rd, 1943. For 3 days, 300 prisoners working in 2 shifts had been made to dig 3 ditches, 2 yards deep and 1,000 yards long. Approximately 100 SS men were then lined up in 2 rows to form a gauntlet, and groups of 100 Jews at a time were made to undress, run the gauntlet to the L-shaped barracks, and from there to the ditches. Men and women separately. SS men drove them into the ditches with rifle butts, forcing them to lie flat. Other SS men standing above them raked them with automatic rifle fire. The next groups were forced to lie down on top of the corpses of the previous ones. The killing went on for 2 days, from 6 a.m. to 5 p.m., with SS men relieved at 2-hour intervals. During this process, 2 trucks were drawn up, blaring ballads, marches, songs, and dance tunes through a loudspeaker to drown out the victims screaming. 18,000 people were killed in 2 days. Spend today, tomorrow night, Thursday, remembering. Let us honor the promise, never forget.